I want to welcome everybody into the Tapping into School Markets webinar. My name is Dave with Transfer Express. I am joined today behind the scenes by Mike, who's going to be in the chat section just because I have so much to focus on through this education. And I don't want to be here I would love to be here all afternoon with you. But unfortunately, your time is valuable. My time is valuable. And I want to get you on to other things, maybe even starting to tap into some school markets. So I'm going to stay as focused as I can here on our education, as well as some demos that we'll go through. And then Mike will be there to throw any links to things that I'm talking about, or maybe answer those questions that I'm not quite able to grab in real time. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I absolutely love the school markets, right? And when we start talking about decorators and local communities, schools are one of the most lucrative markets that you could start to get into as an entry-level decorator, or an incredibly valuable customer for you, even if you are an established decorator. I will say, I was just out filming a heat press transformation, which if you have not seen the heat press transformation series that we do through STAHLS TV with Marshall Atkinson, go over to STAHLS TV and check out the episodes that we filmed already. But we were just maybe not local schools. What was local to them? We were out in Corvallis, Oregon, with Corvallis Customs. So that episode will be coming out very soon. But they do a lot of school printing as well for different clubs. Collegiate Oregon State University is right there in Corvallis, Oregon. Absolutely beautiful little town, but tons of opportunity just from that one school. So when we talk about tapping into school markets, we're going to stay focused a little bit more on the easier to obtain ones. Let's say your local school districts in your city, your state, your region even. But don't think you're just limited to those local school districts. You absolutely could approach colleges in a very, very similar way, right? So any private schools, public schools, any institution of learning and education we're going to be talking about here today. But Corvallis Custom does an absolutely phenomenal job leveraging the relationship they have with the school and building the solutions for them. So things that they wouldn't even think about, or clubs that thought it wasn't obtainable to do anything, or athletes and name, image, likeness, right? They're doing it all. Can't wait for that episode to come out, but that's all I'll say about it right now. We're not going to talk about any name, image, likeness stuff here today in our tapping into the schools markets, but we are going to start with how you could get started and who to reach out to and contact. Then we'll also talk about mascots and artwork, right? Because a great t-shirt, I come from a design background. I learned how to screen print on my kitchen table, 14, 15 years ago now at this point. But I know a lot of decorators and a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, even though you might be creatively minded, maybe you're not the most well-versed with a pen to paper or even Photoshop, right? And don't worry. I'm going to show you how you can have the power of professional design without any subscriptions, right? No subscriptions, no huge learning curve. You're not going to spend years or a college degree, right? Learning how to use Photoshop or Illustrator to create print-ready artwork. I'm going to show you a free tool that makes it so incredibly easy to order heat transfers, quote your orders, mock them up, pretty much anything you need to do for that custom apparel workflow from any device. No need for a MacBook, no supercomputers, nothing like that. So we're going to get into that, and we're going to talk about artwork, because artwork is, premium artwork is how you make premium t-shirts. That's it. You can't just a t-shirt without artwork on it is just a blank t-shirt, and we're into printing t-shirts here, right? So we're definitely going to get into that. Now we'll get into t-shirts and hoodies, and even some products beyond the traditional apparel offerings that your customers may not think of. Just like I was saying, Jesse and his crew out in Corvallis being able to pitch some different items, the promotional items, the relevant items to the school, show that you are an expert and that you care about your customer. And it makes them feel great. Like, wow, I never even thought of that. That would be so cool, right? And at the end of the day, as decorators, we're adding extra printing opportunities. We're adding extra revenue, and we're adding extra profit to our pocket. It is a win-win-win for everybody, right? So we're going to talk about some solutions that you could pitch to your specific customers, and especially like the more relevant to them, the more special it feels, the more thought out it feels, and you look like an absolute hero. And we are here to help support that for you. So after that, we're even going to talk about taking the order, some point of sale systems, and briefly talking about heat printing on demand, right? On demand printing is essentially fulfilling the item and printing the item when the order comes in. So you're reducing so much financial risk upfront for you and your customers, which reducing that risk leads to more success and more profit, right? I always tell this story, and I actually got a great suggestion the other day, but I tell this story all the time of printing in bulk, right? I used to be in a band. We used to gig and play out all the time, right? So we always had so much merch, and we'd buy 200 shirts at once. Well, there are boxes and boxes of band merch still sitting in my garage, right? And I will donate them. That was what I got. The advice I got the other day is like, hey, just donate those to a local shelter, a local Goodwill, a Salvation Army, and give them shirts, right? Because hey, I'm probably not going to play with the band again, right? It's been a few years. And if we did, we'd probably make new merch. So all of this is just, that's money, right? That we could have had to spend on something else, but it's all pre-printed. Even if it was just blank tees, right? And I didn't put the design on the t-shirt until it sold. Well, guess what? I'd have a ton of blank t-shirts that I could print whatever else on, right? But I don't have that, right? So printing on demand reduces the risk of staging all that inventory up front and even the cost of all of that inventory up front. So yeah, that's how we're going to tap into the school market. Let's roll right on into it with our getting started. You guys still following along here in the chat section? If there's any time, let us know. I see Laura asks, is this being recorded so we could watch it again? It is being recorded, but you do not have the interactivity. While we will still host it on YouTube and you could ask questions and comments, it might be hours, maybe a day before we respond to your comment, and we can't tailor a lot of the conversation around what's specific for you. So please ask your questions right here and get into get into this school market, or try to understand the best you can so your business could be as successful as you can. So getting started right off the bat. Some schools, especially like public state-funded schools, at least here in Ohio, requires vendor approval. So you need personally to get approved as a vendor for the school, or your business needs to get approved by the school so that they know who your business is and they'll be able to pay you. Now, private schools and in some states, some school districts, this all varies based on your specific schools that you'll be talking to and just how they are set up. But it is smart to have a W-9 tax form ready to go. That just pretty much carries your business information, your tax information that you could give to the school so that they could prove that they're a real business. They just need to cover it on their end, especially if they're state funded. All of the money that they have is technically tax money. So there should be a trail of who they are giving that tax money to for whatever service it is, regardless if it's custom t-shirts or building a brand new school, right? Or contractors, whatever it may be. So you may need a W-9. So if you don't have your LLC set up, you don't have an employer identification number and that tax ID, now would be a great time to start to prepare before you start reaching out to these schools. Now, I will say, as a caveat, not all schools are this way. So if you want to research into the specific school district that you're looking to work with to see if this is a requirement, by all means, please do. But not all school districts. I was just talking with Mike, actually, right here, who does some decorating for local schools on the side, and saying that the schools that he deals with do not have these restrictions. He does still have tax paperwork that he does have to file at the end of the year. It is not under the table, but he is not required to put a W-9 from that specific school district. So be sure that you absolutely know what you're doing if the school requires all of that information or know where to get it. Honestly, you could probably just Google search that school district, and they'll have a website or a page for vendors that'll tell you exactly what you need. So don't be super intimidated right off the bat here. Let's see. Courtney just said, made my first single image order. That's fantastic, right? So with this, you may also have a request for proposals, right? And that's also going to be like an online platform. And that's what getting set up as a vendor for a specific school or school district also gives you the opportunity for requests for proposals. So say they're doing PE uniforms, or the staff is getting all new uniforms, or it is a school that requires the students to wear specific uniforms. Typically, if you are a vendor and you select as the services you provide as custom apparel or whatever, when they do say, all right, it's time to put a request out for proposals, we want to see the different companies and the different vendors bid for this job, they'll put it out into the portal. So that all depends on if your school district is a little bit more techie, which a lot of school districts are these days, where they actually will have a little portal online board where you could see the pending kind of requests that they have going on that you could bid on, whether it be for, those PE uniforms. Maybe it's the chess club has a t-shirt going in there. So there are these portals. The best thing is to just do some light research. You could probably find it in 5 to 10 minutes, or you could reach out to specific people at the school for specific different pieces of apparel, right? So just getting into some of those contacts that you have to reach out to if you want to do sports, right? Athletic directors, individual coaches. Before we get too far in, I'd love to hear from you guys too. Let us know if you do decorate for schools already, or if you have had to get set up as a vendor, or if you've just been able to do like a 1099 or anything else like that, so you don't actually have to go through the entire process and give them any tax information. So if you have any experience, let us know. I would love to hear from real decorators just like you here, and sharing our expertise, right? We are just a absolutely wonderful community, and a lot of the information that's built in here is from my real experience. My wife is an educator and has been in the education system multiple states, right, over the time that we've been together. So I've been very close to it. I've personally worked with schools in the past, as well as I've consulted with a lot of decorators to build this presentation deck. So it is the most relevant and the most correct information for you. So if anybody, Dexter says vendor for Polk schools. Never done it before, but very interested. Joy says decorate for one school. I'm looking to do more. So there's a whole bunch of, I'd love to even hear more. PTOs, Paris. Exactly. We're going to get into PTOs here. And Leandra says, I've done all vendor and non-vendor, right? So you see it varies based on that specific. Eric says, never have. Scott says, working on designs now for the school cafeteria. Lunch ladies, super funny shirt. See, that's awesome. That is a great decorating opportunity that we don't even have in here, right? I do have staff apparel, so I guess that technically is covered under staff apparel, but we go into so much more. There's so much, right? James says, yes, schools are my biggest accounts. Back to school is a crazy time. Well, James, thanks for carving some of the back to school time out of your day to join us here today and provide your expertise. Love it. Kylie says, I do 2 schools and don't provide anything, but I do get tax information so they don't pay taxes. And that's the one thing, Kylie, thanks for mentioning that. I was going to put it in the slides here, is that most schools will be tax-free, so tax exempt on that. David says, here in Philadelphia, we currently run 4 online stores for different schools in our area. That's great. Tanya says, I work with schools and I've reached this morning to some principals that I know. Perfect. And Sylvie says school-based enterprises. So we actually have a great video with Trisha Campbell, who is actually an educator who's worked in entrepreneurship programs in high schools and now even at a district level, supporting entrepreneurship programs, and does support a lot of heat printing in schools, right? And so you may just blanket, right? You may run into some of that reaching out as more and more schools bring heat printing or some kind of decoration method in-house. But you could bring your value as an outside decorator for whatever it may be: high volume work, quick turnaround time, that extra capabilities that they maybe don't have in-house, or when students aren't in session, right? Like all the back to school printing, they aren't doing that. They're not calling students in the middle of the summer to do printing for back to school. So there are plenty of opportunities, even if there is a student run and student led entrepreneur class or spirit sale in the school. You just have to get connected and ask, right? Man, you guys are so fantastic going to the chat section here. Priscilla says, just geared up, getting ready to market to schools. Cindy says, I decorate for my kids' school and expanding throughout the district. And Cindy, are you Cindy from Creative Couture, right? I have your business card right on my desk here from when we met at, I think, Impressions, right? There's definitely all that. When you mentioned print on demand, DeLeon wants to hear about print on demand, and we are going to cover that here in a minute. Dean says, I do a charter school and a 1099 when I pay them. So yes, Kylie says, for the middle school, I go in during lunch waves and sell directly to the kids. That's fantastic, right? So we're going to talk about some different ways to sell. But see, I've already got super sidetracked and off task here. So we're going to get right back into it, right? So schools and athletics, you want to go for athletic programs. So that's either athletic directors or individual coaches for the individual sports, right? So looking at the team uniforms, any team gear bags, right? So a lot of times you'll see all of the entire, whether it be warm-up gear, whether it be the just a regular apparel, the sweatsuits, the workout gear, a bag to put it all in. You kind of have this team pack that you're able to put together. Of course, all of the parent purchases for spirit wear and fan gear, right? Any of that merchandise also will get looped into this too. And then also some organizations, and especially athletics, use it as fundraising now, right? When I was a kid, all we were able to sell was chocolate bars to fundraise, right? Which was fantastic, I will say, but not as cool as t-shirts, right? And they don't last nearly as long, even when you buy a whole box. Trust me, I know. Cindy says that's you. Cindy, it's so nice for you to join us here today. And it's always great to hang out. So thank you for popping in. And I know you already kind of do some spirit wear stuff, the glittery stuff. So you kind of are adjacent already in school. So that's fantastic. Let's keep moving on to our school contacts right here. Of course, I think somebody mentioned it earlier, the PTA, PTO representatives, right? So that's typical, like just regular spirit wear, any general school fundraising. Also any events, right? So some of those organizations and events, I know at least my daughter's school, the parent association, the teachers really aren't even involved, but the parent association plans so many events, from like fall festivals to just a couple weeks ago had a magician come, right? So it's all of these events that the parent association kind of brings together. So just knowing somebody there where you're not actually decorating for the school proper, right? You're decorating for the parent-teacher organization. And that is definitely one way to do it, right? So this is one way to kind of skirt even that spirit store, right? If they're running and printing in-house, they're able to skirt that around too, right? So definitely one way to look at getting into schools very, very easily, especially if you're just getting started, and especially too, if you have a kid that goes to that school and you go to those organizations and you know the other parents, right? Because I know I've thrown my hand into the ring and I've actually turned down work just because I don't have the time, right? And mostly it was like, hey, we need these shirts in 2 days. We completely forgot. Can you do it? And I was like, am I going to drop everything and do it? No, I'm not going to do it. Totally not worth my time. Really sorry. Love my daughter. Love her school. Love the other parents there. But I'm not going to do it for you. But so like you're going to get those requests, guarantee it, right? But I've thrown my hat into the ring. Just let them know, hey, I'm here. And the best part too, I will say before going even further here, is getting involved, right? When you start to volunteer your time, you start to build relationships with people in the districts and the schools. That makes it so much easier for them to be like, hey, Dave, don't you print shirts? We need some shirts coming up. Do you print shirts, right? And there you go. You don't even have to bid the job. You got the job, right? So if your student goes there, just start talking to it, plant the seeds, and it's going, the ball's going to roll, right? So school administrators are one to reach out for as well. Sometimes we're talking principals, assistant principals. Sometimes you get that administration staff in the front office, just talking to somebody, right? And that's also going to be the school uniforms, any PE uniforms, like we see here on screen, stocking up the spirit store for the school, and maybe printing on demand with some online stores, like we heard some decorators look at, right? So like setting up those online stores so parents could buy gear. I know there was a big drive. They just sent out a flyer the other day with the first week of school of like, hey, buy, the spirit wear online. And they gave us a website to be able to go buy spirit wear for my daughter's school, right? Just get everybody pumped up at the beginning of the year, school pride. And all of that I could guarantee is produced on demand, right? And so that's one thing that you could do. You could take advantage of that, being a home-based business, being a small business, even if you're just a one-person shop, right? There are tools out there now that allow you to look like you are one of the biggest brands on earth, and the capabilities of like being able to efficiently push stuff through and print on demand. So that's coming in just a minute once we get through some extra stuff. So then also any club advisors, the actual classroom teachers themselves. I know one of my wife's last schools had like teams, right? Which nobody really served. They were kind of sitting in this no man's land, like unofficial they were official groups of teachers, like pods, and they were different teams. So like, whether it's the chess club or any after school extracurricular clubs, or the teachers themselves who are part of that team, those are another way to get your foot in the door, because they could advocate for you to the front office staff. They could help get you through that vendor approval process. They could bring you to the table, right? And say, like, in a meeting, and go, hey, well, I know these are going to be some quality tees, or these have the options of what we could be able to print, right? So, and being able to leverage your expertise as a decorator, like I was mentioning earlier, really helps convert customers. Because a lot of people are like, we don't really know what we want. We just don't want to spend a lot of money, but we want like a nice fitting t-shirt, right? So being able to recommend something that's going to wow your customers is going to lead to not just that first order, right? It's going to super simplify it. Like, oh, say no more. I know exactly what you want. You want a nice, like, mid-weight cotton t-shirt, right? You could leverage that. And we actually have some information coming up on that. So I won't get too far ahead of myself. But if you're looking to decorate for any trips, fundraisers, again, those teams, like, right, you want to build that pride, you want to unite that group, and any events, the field days, homecomings, music concerts, prom, anything really like that, where you're going to be, working with a school event or organization, or like I mentioned, sometimes that's handled by the Parents Association, the Parent Teachers Association, or any of those organizations. But you want to know how you learn how that is done? You just ask, right? It could be an email. It could be just while you're picking your kid up at school, walking through the front office. Hey, I run a business. I would love to be able to work with you. I'm here all the time, and I would love to support the school in any way I can. And it's going to open, oh, well, no, you need to talk to Jim about that. He's the one who handles that. And that's your foot in the door, right? It's going to let you know who to target, who to talk to, and what the opportunity is going to be as a decorator. So very, very important. Cindy says, I do some for our local Girl Scout troops too. Huge, right? And kind of related a little bit to the academics and school as well. Let's see. Everybody's congratulating DeLeon, a print for schools, and just became a government contractor. Boom. That's why we're congratulating DeLeon. Let's see. Andre says, give physical garment to coaches to close if you're not printing the school already. Yes, right? Samples sell, right? And being able to, like, I mean, you give that coach one windbreaker personalized to him with the sweet logo on the other chest, and he's going to wear that to one practice, and every other one of those coaches is going to go, where'd you get that from? Oh, well, my buddy gave it to me for free. Can I get one? How much do they cost? As soon as you generate that little bit of interest, man, your foot's not just in the door. All of you is in the door. That makes sense, right? Let's see. Yeah, Leandra says, our school just started a booster club. Tanya says, graduation always has memorabilia. And that, I'm glad you mentioned that, Tanya, because, like, I say that general purpose alone, right? That, like, people like t-shirts. It is the most widely collected form of art, but it's not just art to people. A lot of times they will buy t-shirts for a memory or a memento of a certain event or occasion. We love wearing our heart on our sleeve, or wearing a t-shirt that represents who we are or who we've become, right? So, like, t-shirts are so much more than just, making sure we're not naked. People buy them for a reason, and a sentimental reason. And when you could attach yourself to some emotional connection, like their kid growing up or your own kid growing up, right? I know it tugs at my heartstrings, and that's why it's a great opportunity for apparel decorators, and it's really, really easy to harness the power of merch here, right? Let's see. Dean says, I use Fulfill Engine by STAHLS, and we have 6 online stores for 2 schools. Dean, I'm going to rely on you when we get a little bit deeper into this, because I think we are going to talk about Fulfill Engine here in just a minute. So Alma's asking, how do you become a government contractor? Maybe we could help that out here in the chat section. But a lot of times it's just getting approved, right? So you just need to get approved to be a contractor for the government. So technically, if you're on an approved vendor list from a state-funded school, which is run by the government, you're a government contractor, right? You can say that. Sounds really cool. But please jump in there and let me know that process, right? And this is great. We get to take the community of decorators here and really help each other out. And I absolutely love it. And you guys are just great. I don't think there's words that describe how awesome you guys are. The time and dedication that you put into your own business, and the time and dedication that you pull it out to hang out here and better yourself, right? Like, You have a choice to learn more and better yourself and take that next step in your business. And you're doing it, man. You're doing it. So I'm 100% behind you in anything I could do to help along your journey. I'm here with you. So we talked about, how to get started, how to start reaching out to people and start getting your foot in the door and start getting those first orders. But there's a lot more than just mascots when we talk about t-shirt designs, right? So EasyView, online designer. Jen asks, what is FFE? So that is Fulfill Engine. Fulfill Engine is a software program that is, man, really powerful. If you hang out for like 20 more minutes, we're going to talk all about it. But it's a great tool in your toolbox, as any decorator of any size could really help you scale. But that's all I'll say right now. We're going to go back to EasyView, another great online free program that you could use, right? So EasyView, online at transferexpress.com. If you don't already have a Transfer Express account, so go to transferexpress.com right now and just create a free account. We're not even going to ask for a credit card. You just need to put in your basic information. And I ask you to put in your real mailing address, only because we're going to send you free samples just for setting up for a free account. You're going to get a whole bunch of heat transfers sent your way, a whole bunch of information and more like printed, really nice, well-designed kind of pamphlets and stuff that could help your business with different solutions. So definitely put your right address in there. And then as soon as you create that and confirm your email address, you're into EasyView Online Designer. You could go in and start designing. You don't have to be able to draw a stick figure. No Photoshop experience needed. You could create custom artwork that is going to sell and wow your customers, whether you are the first time ever using a computer or a skilled designer who went to art school, right? So I first was like an online designer. Cool. When I started using it, even having a very intensive design background, like, no, Adobe Illustrator is what I'm going to use everything for. I will tell you 9 times out of 10, I'm in EasyView creating it, because it just, even as a professional designer, it really, really speeds everything up, helps me be way more efficient and monetize my time more, right? And allows me to say yes to more orders. Like, it's just, it takes what would take me 20 minutes, and I feel like I'm very proficient in Illustrator. I could get some text and a palm tree or something done. Let's say in this case, like we wanted to say Franklin Panthers and like XXL. Just setting that blue shirt up would take, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I could do it in EasyView in a matter of clicks. There's probably a layout that looks exactly like that, that I double click and change some text and I'm done, right? We're talking from 15 minutes to under a minute, where that's wow. Also, of course, there's also the idea book that does accompany the EasyView Online Designer. So this is a great tool to be able to take and go talk to schools, right? So it's color-coded on the side here. I'm in the red sports section. Let's see, we're in occasions. Oh, hey, here's green on the side. That's what I'm talking about, green schools. So I could go through here, and I bet I could find something just like that Franklin Panthers one real quick, right? Going through and going, oh, cool. That's the one that I want right there, or this one, right? It's so easy to be able to pull some of that out for your customers and be able to sit down and pitch this to them. And this is completely unbranded too. This would have your business name on the bottom. So your customer doesn't know that Transfer Express exists. Again, just kind of bolstering your services, right? So this is the idea book, has all these layouts in here, the top of the top. It's not all of the designs in the designer, the 10,000 plus pieces of clip art, 7,500 customizable layouts, because this binder would be this thick, and it's in a binder too. So like how I was showing you sports, maybe you're not going to show them occasions, right? You don't want to show them occasions or like workwear or anything near at the back of this book. You just want to show them the school and sports section, right? So you could clip everything out. There's your sports section, and here we go into sports section. Maybe that's where I'd find something like this too. So have them be able to browse. It goes by different, here's baseball, softball layouts. And yeah, we have a whole bunch here in the idea book, but I realize I'm in just a little tiny window. But that's one way that you could take this artwork to your customers, have them pick, be able to customize it. And now this is a service that's going to set you out from anybody else, especially those national competitors, right? Because if you could go to Custom Ink and bumble around on their online, layout thing, where I wouldn't even really call that a designer. You could have customers try to design things in Canva, but if they're not paying for Canva, they can't download print ready files to print. So it's going to be low res. And then you end up redrawing it anyway, or pay an art fee to have somebody redraw it anyway, where this is free, right? So it's free and easy to use, and be able to bring your customers' ideas to life with speed and with quality, right? and your customers are going to be impressed, and they're going to forget about all of those little national shops online that they just don't want to talk about anymore. So, or they don't want to use anymore, right? So you could also upload your own artwork. So if your customers have their own mascots, you can pull them right on in. And then you could even mock up your artwork all in one. And it's already preloaded with a ton of different apparel styles, all in accurate colorways. So you don't have to guess. EasyView also quotes your job out for you right in real time, right? So you don't have to worry about anything else for quoting or anything, right? Taxes, shipping are the only thing. There's no hidden fees, and it's going to tell you when your order is going to arrive. So not only could you get an accurate cost, so now you could quote it to your customer accurately, but you could tell them if you could meet their in-hands date, right? If you could get it to them on time. So enough talk about it, right? How long do saved projects stay in EasyView? Mitch asks. Forever. Forever. They're there until you delete them. And then even when you delete them, they're in the archived. So they are in there for a long time. But enough telling you about it. I'll just show you EasyView and show you how easy it is to use. And then we're also going to go through some inspiration and some different apparel styles to help you prepare to be a pro, to be able to suggest some different, oh, you're on a budget. Here's a great budget tee. Oh, you have a little bit more budget and want something a little bit more premium, but still don't want to spend buku bucks on it, right? We'll tell you. So we're going to have some great examples coming up here in just a minute. But until then, let's go ahead and I want to show you EasyView Online Designer, right? So here is EasyView Online Designer. It's at transferexpress.com. If I just click on Transfer Express right here at the top, you could click on EasyView, which is this green button right here, or Order Transfers, and click Online Designer. Now, of course, like I mentioned, you do have to be logged in, right, to be able to use this. And logging in is free, and it's quick and easy to create an account. Just go ahead, create one. We're not even going to ask for a credit card. You'll have access to this program. So that doesn't mean like it's not a free trial that's going to end in 7 days. And if you don't forget to cancel, we're going to charge you money. No, you are only charged money if you buy transfers, right? So it's great, right? We're talking about tools in your tool belt, built to help you succeed, because now we're lowering the risk. You don't have a monthly subscription to Canva, Kittle, Adobe, nothing like that, right? This is free and available to use on any device. So we're talking even like a tablet, or your customer hits you up Friday night at 7 o'clock and you're out at dinner. Hey, we're ready to go. Could I pay you for this? Payment sent, invoice paid, whatever. And you want to like, all right, I'm going to forget about this. I'm not going to get to this email until Monday. And then it's just going to be too late. Let me go ahead and place this order. You could pull out your phone and pull up EasyView Online Designer and just order the order that you had saved in here, right? So this is what EasyView looks like. You could add your own artwork, so you could upload it in almost any different file type. If you are using CorelDRAW, though, as a design pro, just export them as a PDF. That's the only thing I really ask. But if we click over here on layouts, you can see a whole bunch of layouts populate. And this is part of the 7,500 layouts that are built here in the Online Designer. And you'll see categorization down on the side, even stuff like these shirt tags, right? You want to do inside labels and really give them that retail ready look and feel. We've got them here, right? And it's so easy to customize. You just click and change the information, and everything updates in real time. So, but we're talking about schools today, right? So you can see tons of basic stuff here, even like trends, right? So current trends, ooh, some nice cowboy Western stuff. We've seen a lot of those coming out, some floral designs, right? Some streetwear designs. So you see a lot of stuff in here, but we're going to go right to schools. So we could click schools, bestsellers, right? We see some teacher gear. We see some elementary stuff. You see all the new stuff. So new layouts are added into the EasyView Online Designer every single week. We have an entire staff of designers who go out and look at trends, and they're at Old Navy and Target, right? All of these retailers, and scouring Etsy and the internet for what's currently trending. And they'll make design layouts to help you stay relevant with your customers. So we're helping you be more efficient, and we're helping you be more relevant, all in one right here with this. And we're also making you help making you profit, because if you're going to charge for design time, well, this is free and it's just extra profit in your pocket. So like if we're looking at bands and stuff like this, elementary schools, right? So you see that they're all kind of broken down here. You can see so many different printing opportunities just down this list of artwork, right? So from preschools to daycares, just general school stuff as well. And let's go here to mascots, right? So we're going to do a mascot tee. Just scrolling through and looking at all of these. We have a whole bunch, and more is going to load. I promise you, it's probably faster for you at home because you're not live streaming right now while you're on a browser-based thing right here, right? So you can see a ton of different stuff, and more is going to load as we keep going down here. I don't want to get too into the weeds. Let's just pick one right here, right? MAS 201. And so keep an eye out for some of these layout numbers. If you see one as we go through the rest of this presentation with some of our examples, we have them all listed out so that you could just go, oh, MAS 201. That's the same exact way that this idea book works, right? I'm just going to open to a random page and see if I could zoom in. But you could see here, right? I don't think it's going to focus on it. Maybe it will. There are codes under every single one of these designs, so you could easily recall them at any time. When you get back to the designer, just make a mention, MAS 201, right? So if we saw this one, let's click on MAS 201. It's coming right into our design space. So number one, our team is here going to be yellow shirts. So we could change our background color to yellow, and they're going to be navy, or navy and gold. That was my elementary school colors, or let's just say royal, right? Royal and gold. So now we're already editing this, but they are the Panthers, right? So we could just click on this, go right up here to the edit menu, or you could just double click and it's going to open this little box. But I like typing up here because it does it in real time. We're just going to go Panthers, right? So all I'm typing is Panthers, and now it's updating here live in real time to be able to pull this in. Now, this is not a panther, right? That looks more like a wildcat, or my cat at home when we have forgot to feed her. She looks just like that. So, but we could go right here to the replace clip art, and let's go grab a panther clip art. So you could replace it with a layout, your own artwork, or a clip art. So if they have their own, they pull it in there. Man, I am very tempted just to switch this to gator, because like that little gator right there, that's a cool looking alligator. But I'm just going to search panther. So we'll pull that up. It's going to pull up an entire library of panther artwork. And I like this retro one looking right here, X2C 189, right? So boom, we're going to pull that in, and now we have a panther. We'll just go right here. Let's say it's Lakeville, right? Lakeville. Well, if we spell it right. Lakeville, and I want to change the font. Look how easy it is. You literally go to this library of 250 plus fonts. Let's get something thick, like Bahamas heavy. Boom. Cool. And now we could even change the sizing. So the letter spacing there, where you could get your letters farther apart or closer together. I want to make it nice and impactful. Other online designers don't allow you to have this control, right? So you have all of this control right here, and boom, just like that, we're set. We're ready to go. We have different sheet sizes. So if we wanted to add different stuff on our sheet for gang sheets, we could park this artwork right here and say, I just want to copy and paste out. Now I can make like a left chest for those coaches or the polos or the uniforms or the PE uniforms, right? Any artwork that you could fit on this page. Say you wanted to do some of those inside tags for your own brand, right? Your customers are already paying for the printing and you want to add some more stuff. And just like I mentioned, how easy it is to change this, right? Like large. You can see how easy it is to change any of this. Just click and edit. Change the clip art out, add your own stuff. Even if you like, I didn't want this here and I just want it to be a panther, you could easily just delete it with the trash can or just clicking delete on the keyboard. So super easy. Of course, brand new to Transfer Express is the single image goof proof. So if you're doing large quantities, right? Our minimum quantity here at the bottom, it's going to tell you to, you don't have to be an expert in ordering or knowing all the options, because EasyView will guide you. So like right here at the bottom, minimum order quantity for this product is 6 sheets. So we could just select 6 sheets. And bam, we have it all set. Here in EasyView 2, I do want to mention, you could select different transfer types from our goof-proof screen printed transfers, which are my favorite. Real plastisol ink, real screen printing without the mess. And then we also have full color. So all color maxes are DTF transfer, no minimum order. You could order just one of them, right? So, but let's go back over to our screen print. Let's go goof proof. And I'm going to pick one of our brand new individual sheet sizes. So these are perfect for like 50 plus bulk runs, right? For just rock bottom pricing, allow you to be really competitive and really profitable with larger quantities, right? So let's just do single image. We have a 10 by 7 graphic here. If I adjust to 50 quantity, my little head here is covering this up. So I'm just going to turn my video off for a second. And you can see that it's priced at 99 cents. So 50 bucks. I'm getting $49.50. We're getting 50 sheets, less than $1 per print. And then we're saying probably the blank we're going to choose is probably going to be about $2.50, $3, right? So we are custom printing shirts for $4. We're going to charge $8. And so 50 times 8, you do the math on that, and that's the profit. I could print about 50 shirts an hour on an autoclam, if not way more. So less than an hour's work, and we are making money, right? So what is that? I'm bad at math, but we'll get somebody else to do it, right? So it tells you right there, it's quoting it. And check this out too. We missed production cutoff today, but these are going to ship 8/26. So what is that, Monday that these are going to ship out? Or they're going to essentially ship out Monday. Like, it tells you when they're going to ship right here at the bottom of the screen, right down here. So really, really great stuff. Now, wait, there's more, right? Because you could show a customer this and say, hey, this is your artwork. And they're like, cool, that's fine. But when you bring it to life and put it on a mock-up is when you're really able to bring the complete picture together. They see their dreams come to life and could imagine wearing it. And boom, then they go, here, take my credit card. Let's get this going. So right here on the left-hand side, I'm going to click mock-up, and we're just going to click. There's a whole bunch of stock stuff in here, right? So this will load faster when you're not live streaming to the internet. So let's just click yellow t-shirt, right? And you could change this watermark. So if you want it to say Dave's Tees, boom, it's Dave's Tees, or we could just turn it off, right? I trust my customer. They're not going to run out and steal my artwork. So right like that, boom. Now I could download this, send it to the customer, or because it's just a generic t-shirt and that yellow, well, maybe doesn't look like the yellow that we want to match the team, right? We could go in here. Let's say we're going to use, a Gildan 5000, or let's say like we want that soft style, right? So a Gildan 64,000, the soft style. I love this tee. It's a real nice one. Look, boom. Now we're getting a little bit more. What is this one? Gold. Sweet. So now we actually have it on a model shot. We're able to take this and just kind of size it down to that left chest size. Center chest size. And man, now we have a mock-up. We want it to just be the back of the model. Cool. We got that too. Just a front without the model in it. You betcha. Most apparel styles do have 4 different views: the front, back, flat, and then the front back with a model. So just like this, we pop this in here. I'm able to do this. And we did this in what? A couple minutes as I was narrating it to you. Think of the power this is going to give you to sell to those schools, right? Like, now you have mock-up. This isn't a subscription. So if you're, say, you do it for the busy seasons, the fall and the spring, right? And for the rest of the year, you're not really using it. You're not paying for it the entire time, right? This is all right here, easy for you to use and be able to just print these on here. So then, boom, we download and ready to go. Order our transfers. It's going to tell us, or say like we just need one, right? We want to make a sample. I'm going to hide my face so you could see just how this is going to go. So if I go full color, ultra color max, and I need just one quantity of this, right? It's $4.67 for just one transfer. So I can make one t-shirt to drop off as a sample so that the principal could wear it through the school on orientation day. And all the other staff members go, hey, where'd you get that shirt? Could I get one of those too? And then you get the bulk order, right? So a lot of potential here in the Easy View Online Designer at transferexpress.com. If you haven't played around with it, please go play with it. It's free. And then even you could go up here and click save, right? You can make different folders. You could see this is our marketing account. So we have some trade shows in there, our Printing United, our videos, all that stuff that we have in here. But you could set it for different schools, different seasons, different customers, different districts, whatever it may be. And it saves in perpetuity all right here. Pretty much until the end of time, right? And accessible on any internet connected device. You don't need that super powerful MacBook. All you need is an internet connection, right? Even works over cell phone connections too. So we're going to get back into our presentation. But yeah, you got to use it. If you haven't, you got to get into it. Let's just see. DeLeon says, I've used the Online Designer for years and it's great. And then you got to be a government contractor. Look at that, right? It's empowering your business to succeed. I love hearing those things just like that, right? Let's see. Jared asks, can I download the file so I can print it myself? You cannot. So it's made for ordering transfers. There are certain cases, like you could even order stickers for your customers too. But you do need to order transfers through the program. Otherwise, we would have to pay. You would have to make you pay for it, right? And we're not into that. We know you're going to be creating t-shirts with it and be able to use that, right? Laura says there's a way to order just one goof proof to make sure it prints on the shirt the way we want before ordering 6 sheets. Because of the screen printing process, you could order one. It's going to be the same price as 6 though. Like that's the problem. It is screen printing. So we have to burn a screen. I had a screen and a squeegee here in my office. It's just over in the corner. But essentially we have to put emulsion on it, photo expose it, wash it all out, get it inked up with real ink, put it on press, and then be able to print. So there's a lot of setup involved with screen printing. But if you do want just like to proof the sizing and not the actual like feel of the ink, do it with Ultra Color Max, because then you could do one and at least the vast majority, I would say 90% of people aren't going to feel the difference in the ink. If you're like me and you're a super nerd about any way you could put ink on any substrate in the printing industry in general, I will be able to tell, and I'll be able to tell you it's exactly that print method. Oh, that's direct to garment. Oh, that's sublimation. Oh, that's a screen print. Oh, that's a screen print transfer. Oh, that's a direct to film print. Yeah, that's a hybrid print. That's Ultra Color Pro. Yeah, I am weird. I understand that. But the vast majority of people out in the market and your customers aren't going to be able to tell the difference. You may just have a slight color shift as you switch from different print method to different print method, right? But that's why I saw somebody asking about a color selector swatch book. That's why it's nice to have one of these, right? So if the customer wants to see that exact shade of navy, right? I'm just going to look and see, we chose royal for our blue color, right? So I could go through our color selector swatch book and look at royal. So right there, I have an actual swatch. This is 102 physical screen printing screens it takes to make this with just about 70 colors of ink. And I'm able to see the real plastisol ink on Pellon fabric. So this is fabric, right? So I could see exactly what that ink color is going to look like, match it to the customer so that they could order with confidence. I could print with confidence, knowing that's going to be the school color that they need. Of course, if you need a specific Pantone color, you absolutely can do that in the EasyView Online Designer too. Just specify the Pantone color that you need. Say that school says, no, our blue is 2935. You could go in the EasyView Online Designer, go to custom color in the edit menu and the ink colors, select 2935, and it's going to recolor their blue to that ink color. It's just an extra charge per ink color per order for us to custom mix it, but we absolutely will do it for you. We know some customers are just very, very particular about color, and we want you to say yes to them, right? That's profit opportunity, and that's building trust when you could absolutely nail it, and we will be as trustworthy as possible hitting that exact ink color that you specify. I will say, in 4 years of exclusively using screen printed transfers, I have only had to custom color match once, and that was somebody very, very particular. The one was like, oh, we want, what was it, like, I forgot exactly what it was. It was like 380 something is the Pantone, but it's the shark teal. It's spot on exactly, right? Don't quote me on that Pantone number. I only know a few offhand. But yeah, like this shark teal matched it exactly. And they loved it. Didn't have to pay the extra fee. I charged them for a Pantone match, more money in my pocket, but they were expecting it, right? But it's a standard stock color. I'm not saying that you could do that all the time, but in some cases you can. The goal of the story, listen to your customer, understand what they want and why they want it, and deliver on it, right? And that's why you're going to keep happy customers. Let's keep going down. Wow, the chat section moved a little bit. I see Mike's busy in there. Stephanie asked, do you offer a puffy effect? Absolutely. We actually just added 15 colors of puff inks into the EasyView Online Designer. So when you selected, like where I did screen print and full color, go to screen print and you'll see puff as an option there. Let's see. Jay says, I want an idea in a color swatch book. I have if you hang out to the end, I have a very, very special deal for you to pick up both of those and a whole bunch more, right? So Paris says, yeah, can a customer just give you their logo? Absolutely. And you just upload it. That was that first thing that I clicked on and said, if you're exporting a Corel Draw file, just export it as a PDF. But yeah, if they have a file, vector format preferred, say, hey, give me an SVG, an AI file, a PDF, EPS file. I don't even know if people use EPS files anymore. Take that and upload it into the designer, right? So let's get into some inspiration real quick as we go down and get through the rest of this one here. You see right up next to that gentleman's face that says Chandler Bulldogs that you will see Easy Prints Layout MAS 217. So if we went over to the EasyView Online Designer, typed in MAS 217, it's going to pull this exact layout up. I'm going to bet that it's probably going to say Compton Eagles because that is the placeholder city name and mascot for everything in the EasyView Online Designer instead of Chandler Bulldogs, but you could change it to be whatever you want it to be. Renee says, I like uploading Photoshop files. I love Photoshop files. Sometimes they get too big and then you have to save them out as like a PNG, but I love Photoshop files too, right? Garrett says you could recreate anything with the Ultra Color Max. You absolutely can. No restrictions. The only restriction really is super fine details, super fine lines, because we want to make sure it has adhesive and is going to stay on the garment after it's washed. Worst case scenario, right? What we fear here at Transfer Express and what I fear as an educator and, here presenting to you is a product to fail in your customers' hands, right? So we want to ensure we have certain specifications in place here at Transfer Express because we have things thoroughly wash tested. So the finest line that we could do is like 0.018 inches, like super fine. Just don't go under that, right? With Ultra Color Max, because we want to ensure that that garment is going, that print is going to last on the garment for what we know it is when applied correctly, right? So that's why we give application instructions with every single order so that you could be confident in the product that you're giving to your customer that they are going to love and enjoy and wear for years to come, right? That's the end goal. We don't want anything to fail, and we set these guidelines and little, even the tips, right, in the EasyView Online Designer. We're going to run it through an analyzer, right? We don't just want to print transfers for you here at Transfer Express. Not at all, right? We want your business to be successful, and we are going to do everything within our power to help you be successful, right? People say, why you guys have all these guidelines in there? Which really, it's not like a lot of guidelines. We want the transfers to be quality, right? And we don't want your customers to be like, hey, why did this turn out like garbage? And then you come, look at us and come back and look for answers. And we're like, well, whatever. We just want to, that's not us. That's not Transfer Express, right? Transfer Express is built to help your STAHLS and Transfer Express built to help build your business to what you want it to be, right? So we are 100% here in your corner every single time. That's the only restriction to Ultra Color Max. That was a long-winded answer, but I got to say, I'm very proud of the work that we do here and very proud of decorators just like you. And I would hate to be the reason that you lose a customer, right? That's not, we want you to succeed. We want you to get more customers. That's why we're learning here today, right? So I love the interactivity. We're going to keep it going, right? That's Dave getting off his sentimental soapbox. So here we see this great layout, MAS 217 on a Port & Company PC54. I absolutely love Port & Company. It is a very, very quality t-shirt for a low cost, right? So we have them on transferexpress.com. If you go over to the wholesale apparel section, don't need a business license or a tax ID to order at wholesale rates for bulk apparel. And anything over $300 ships free, which is great. Now, if you do have a tax ID or a business license, I will say you should probably go over to Sanmar. They have them a little bit cheaper than we have them. But Sanmar is a great distributor, at least here in Ohio. The warehouse gets to us in one day, right? So if you order before production cutoff, everything's arriving next day. But if you don't have a business license yet, no tax ID, transferexpress.com, right? So the good is the PC54 to premium, and the fan favorite, which is also the Dave favorite, is the PC450. It's a 4.5 ounce, so a little bit more mid-weight, really nice premium ring spun cotton, available in 40 colors, a huge array of colors in small through 6X and even youth sizing. So you have this wide, super wide array of colorways and sizing. Absolutely love Port & Company, not just for the cost, but I think the shirt that I'm actually wearing underneath here, you can see I've washed several times. No bacon collar, still laying flat. A really, really great t-shirt I wear all the time is the PC450. So absolutely love it. Here for youth, we see MAS 187 with a panther on it, right? On a Bella Canvas 3001. So once we get a little bit more premium from the basic and the basic plus of that Port Authority line, definitely get into districts. So like the District 104, the DT 104 is a great tee. Love that entire district line. Again, a little bit lighter weight now. So we're getting into that 4.3 ounce, available in 60 colorways, extra small through 4X. And that's going to be kind of that mid-road, right? So when we're talking like good, better, best, the good, I'd put those Port & Companies. That PC450 really feels like almost a premium tee for a good price on the budget end. Even the sleeves are like a little bit more fitted down the shoulder instead of like kind of how our youth t-shirt is here, where like the sleeves sit off the arm, where they kind of hug the arm a little bit more. That's exactly what like the district does. And then the Bella Canvas 3001 is by far the industry average, very similar to the Next Level 3600, where they're just that 4.2 ounce ring spun cotton, an awesome surface to print on, right? But a super premium option. Over on our YouTube channel, we do have the good, better, best pricing model for just kind of general, which you could use that. This is a little bit more tailored to specifically schools, right? If you want to get like super fancy past this, comfort colors or cotton heritage start to become an option that become a little bit pricier than a standard t-shirt. But if somebody wants like a really nice thick or like vintage feeling t-shirt, the heavyweights, that's where it's going to be. Going to be getting in there. Let's see. Jason says, if you have art already in the STAHLS account, can you access somehow from your Transfer Express designer account? Not yet. We are working on being able to connect the accounts, but they just run a little differently, so it's hard to verify that. And we don't want any paths to get crossed. But you could reach out to customer service, and they may be able to help you out with that from the STAHLS or Transfer Express side. It's kind of a case-by-case basis if we're able to access it. But again, we want you to be successful. We're here to help everybody, from myself here live with you right now, or if you were to hang up and call the 1-800 number to talk to somebody in customer service, we're here to help your business grow, succeed, thrive, and wow your customers together, right? So that's what we're here for. So, of course, as we start getting t-shirts and hoodies, we're getting into the fall time, right? So not just t-shirts are king, but again, sweatshirts and hoodies. I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now. I think this one's actually from Target. So shout out to Target there. Don't buy your blank apparel at Target. It's very, very expensive. There are a lot of other options, including Transfer Express. So here we see layout QCO 125, a very kind of simple Lincoln High School. Man, that looks like the high school that I graduated from, the purple and gold, right? So on a nice charcoal hoodie here, this is the Port & Company PC78H, which is a very, very, it's got to be the most inexpensive hoodie. And I don't want to say cheap because it doesn't feel cheap. It's not like sewn weird or like super big or anything like that. It is just an incredible value, right? In a lot of cases, especially like people who aren't used to ordering custom apparel, they ask for a hoodie. And then once you price it out, they're like, oh my God, is it really that expensive? But if you look at it like, oh, you just went and bought a hoodie off the shelf at, I'm going to name up Target again. It's like $45, right? So like, how are you expecting a t-shirt to be the same price as a hoodie when it's custom decorated, right? It's going to be more expensive. Fleece is definitely a little bit more premium. But this Port & Company PC78H, that's pretty much it's the same price as a t-shirt. It's really, really great. I do personally like that fan favorite, right? The PC 450 t-shirt. They make the PC 850H, which is my personal favorite hoodie that I wore all last winter. I have an entire closet full of them, whole bunch of different colorways. Love the way they fit and they feel, and they are absolutely incredibly inexpensive too. So the PC 850H, not listed here, but also a great one to print on. The Jersey's new blend, 996M, is a really good one. Nice 50-50 blend. Almost a little bit more of like an athletic cut, right? Not quite performance wear, but definitely a little bit elevated from a traditional, just regular standard fleece. Now, fleece you'll typically see as 60-40 or 50-50. In a lot of cases, the face, right? So the outside shell is 100% cotton. Here with like this charcoal one that we see, it's probably more like an definitely like a 80-50 or an 80-20, I'm sorry. But you'll see the fleece on the inside. So like the real nice fluffy fleece on the inside, that's where you'll see a little bit more of the polyester content. So you could confidently decorate on these with transfers made for, say, 100% cotton, right? Or even like direct to garment. So we got through some hoodies. We got a little bit more hoodies here. So this is the premium style. So again, back to District. Now this is a tri-blend fleece. So a 54-46, that's the blend. So 54 cotton, 40% polyester, 6% rayon or spandex that we're looking at in this one. And so this is the DT 1300. Again, the more that you get those synthetic fibers in there, the softer it's going to feel. And you're going to have a little bit more movement and stretch in the garment as well. So really, really more premium styles. A 7-ounce isn't super heavy. So you're in that like mid-weight hoodie ounce range. And then, of course, the belle of the ball. Everybody loves the way that sponge fleece feels. It's so super soft, is the Bella canvas. So the 3719, just like that 3001, very much the industry standard for like top of the line. I want a really nice, super soft hoodie. You're probably going to go for that Bella Canvas BC 3719. I've noticed too, like over the past maybe 5-6 years, Bella Canvas has been a name that before it was really just like what decorators knew. If you were in the industry, you knew of Bella Canvas, but a lot more people, almost like American Apparel was back in the early 2006, 2007s, where like everybody knew about that brand. So Bella Canvas is being requested for and asked for more often than a lot of other styles too. So that's a 52-48 heirloom cotton blend. And so you have this really nice cotton polyester blend that is super soft. I own, over the years, I've picked up quite a few of the 3719s, and actually saw, I was in LA for a Print Hustlers conference last fall, and we actually toured the Bella Canvas facility where they actually dye the fabrics. They cut the fabrics, in some cases, like completely cut and sew full garments right there in Los Angeles, sustainably and up to the highest standards for manufacturing, right? For environmental protection, because California and LA specifically, very, very conscious about the environment. So if they say, if we could do it to the standards set forth by California and LA, then it's good enough for us, right? And they are the most stringent in the entire world. So hats off to Bella Canvas for looking out for the planet and making some rad blank apparel for us to print on, right? So yeah, love us some Bella Canvas. Now, of course, t-shirts and hoodies are cool, but we could go far beyond that. So here we see garden flags. You can get them on Amazon for $1 each. If you get them from wholesale sites, you could get them for even less than that. These are great for sublimation, but even if you don't have sublimation, you could be printing anything on it. So whether it's goof proof and you're using extra shirts, right? If you're just, or those extra designs, say you wanted to order those single image goof proof for 90 cents or a piece or whatever, and you only needed 36. Well, you could use extras then here to print on flags or anything else, flags, bags, totes, whatever it may be, that you could be able to print this. Now, this one customized to Calvin for 2nd grade at Goldwood Elementary, of course, would probably be DTF, right? Ultra Color Max, a really super easy way to do that. Laura, can you repeat that item number, the athletic cut hoodie, please? I just saw the chat. Let's go back. That is the Jersey's new blend 996M. As in Mike, in the chat section. Mike might be able to find a link to that and get it in there. Edgar says, what's the ideal retail price for the Bella Canvas 3719? And that's a rough question. Expensive, right? It depends on the quantity. It depends on the artwork of what you're putting on it, the print location. So that's really hard to say, just like ballpark off the bat, right? So any transfer type is going to work on these flags here. Pennants, right? The retro vibe is coming back. Check this out. I got this pennant that we have in the photo right here, actually with me right here. And so we have this little dude, and I think you might have noticed the little soccer kind of rubber hose cartoon style that we had that clip art in. So there's more and more of this trending clip art in there. Really nice retro looks. This was designed 100% in the EasyView Online Designer. But you could even do stuff like this. Let me go full screen and stop the slide presentation here and go full screen. So you could see, so like here, right, you could do just a full pennant. This is our Dublin one again that I just was able to pull up, right? Take it to the hoop, all designed in EasyView, right? So just measured, made the triangle shape out of the basic shape clip art in there, and bam, we got that one. But also, now this is where you could really start making a ton of profit, is being able to do these customized, right? This is Ultra Color Max. So this is just a one-off transfer. We have Willowick Softball and Zaylee, right? So you could start to customize these, give them to the parents, right? And now you're going to be making money. While this costs maybe $3 to buy the pennant, you're putting maybe $2 in print, $5. You're going to sell this for 15 or 20 bucks customized, right? So that is profit margin for you and your business, and something that no national retailer is going to be like, oh, you want some pennants too, right? Some great ideas that you could bring to the table for that extra merchandise, maybe fundraising for the team, right? That's way better than a chocolate bar. And then because Ultra Color Max, you could print photos. You could print photos of the real kid, right? Take those photo shots, put them on the pennant, couple them with the school name, and you have all of this here. So like really, really great stuff that you could do with all of these heat transfers and your heat press, more than just apparel, right? So really, really great stuff that you could do. And again, sometimes it could be free if you're using the extra transfers or extra space on the gang sheet. We bought all of these pennants from Liberty Pennants. Oh, let me get my chat section back up. So Liberty Pennants sells those pennant flags. They are made of felt, like an acrylic, not acrylic felt, like a polyester felt. So they take any heat transfer type. any temperature, right? So super easy, as well as you could get some bulk packs of them on Amazon. I've not tried those. I've seen them, but I haven't tried them personally, but we always go to Liberty Pennants. So those are great. Laura, 996M. There we go. Can you show how to order the pennant artwork, please? So Laura, just the same way that we did that other design, we were able to pull it up. If we have time at the end, I'll loop back around and get it pulled up in the EasyView Online Designer, because essentially we just measured that. And in the designer, just how we saw our design size, you could set it to anything you want. So we just kind of set it to that size, ordered it, and we were out. If we have time at the end, Laura, I will absolutely loop around and show you how to order those in EasyView Online Designer. Keith says, I remember selling the Big O Henry bars in school. We had to stop because we were eating the candy. Yeah, you can't eat a pennant or eat a t-shirt, right? And they can make you more fundraising dollars than candy, and they last longer, right? That's what I was saying. Like, we don't, those fundraisers in school never lasted too long. Let's see. Bill said, how do you angle the design on the pennant? So that's actually an applied effect. Man, okay, we're going to have to go back in. If you guys want to hang out after we're all set, I'll show you how to make one of those pennants. Really cool. We also have a video over on our YouTube page, but you could actually, that shape, so like that pennant shape is actually an effect that you could select in the EasyView Online Designer, right? All right, I'm just going to jump there real quick. I promise you this is going to take 2 seconds. We're not taking a large detour here. We're taking a small detour, right? So like here, I'm just going to add this text. So this text is just going to say pennant, right? And so we could go here to the bottom of this menu. So number one, right here is our width. So we're at 16 inches. I think that might be a little too big for that. So let's just say this is 9 inches, right? So we'll set that to 9 inches. And then we could go down here to our applied effects and shape. We'll add that and pennant. So just like that. And then if we wanted to size this back to 9 inches, we absolutely could. So 9 inches wide. So there we go. Boom. So that just made that shape right there for us. How easy? EasyView Online Designer makes it super, super easy. All right, we're going to go back to the slides. And so we just looked on that. Erica says, can they be pressed on hats? You betcha. You guys are asking like the best questions today. And I absolutely love it. I'm trying to keep us going. We keep getting detoured, but you guys keep asking these great questions. So like these are some hats that I have just easy reach for me. So just like that, that's an Ultra Color Max on a foam front trucker cap. I can't even feel that print on there, but printed with the 360 IQ, the Hotronics press. This is a puff ink. So there's no way you could tell and see that in this light here, but that's a puff ink, right? So a puff ink screen print and transfer, just added it on the extra space of a gang sheet for Buffalo, right? I'll just wear that for the rest of the time here. And you can see a ton of more hats that we have up here from standard goof-proof ones. I don't know. This is just show and tell now. We're really going off the deep end, but some cool stuff. Yeah, you can put these transfers on hats, of course, and these pennants and all this other stuff here that we got. I'm just going to set those there and not put them back up. There's more. There's more up there. This is a fun one. Last one I'll pull down, right? It's like real big bass for a podcast, but it's like a Bass Pro Shops, right? We've all seen those hats, right? So we're going to put those back up there, and we're going to stop detouring, right? Marissa says, can you talk about the press that you used for the hats? I can, but how you guys, does everybody have their whole evening carved out? I'm just kidding. All those hats that I just showed off to, if you go over to the Transfer Express YouTube channel, you could actually see me press every single one of these actual hats. I printed them all on camera, and we put them into a video about screen printing on hats and a whole bunch of, or screen print transfers on hats, DTF on hats. These are the auto caps. So I absolutely love auto cap. I think they're the 18635 or the 39165. Sorry. As like this foam front trucker cap. Absolutely awesome. The industry standard, as we talk about industry standard blanks, auto, by far the industry standard for foam front trucker caps. They've been around forever. And when you think of a foam front trucker cap, you think of that quality, right? They're great. So pennants, we're going to get back on it. Stop detouring. Let's see. When do we get the prints? Do they have all the time temperature? Or we'll have to look that up on the website. Mitch from Transfer Express, every single order, every transfer that we send you will have at least a little card in there, if not a full sheet that tells you the accurate time, temperature, pressure, and the peel. So like hot peel, cold peel. If there's alternate directions for say like 100% polyester versus 100% cotton, it will show you in there as well. So we're going to keep going. And keep rolling here with our Beyond shirts and, of course, the cinch sacks, right? Shoe bags, PE bags. They usually cost anywhere between $150 and $14 each. And again, like I mentioned, on the flags or the pennants, you're using extra transfers, extra stuff on your gang sheet. Whether they are the goof proof transfers, ultra color max, the 100% polyester designed elastic prints, right? So like names, numbers. If you're doing any like athletic uniforms, use that same transfer here for these 100% polyester bags, right? So a whole bunch of stuff that you could do with these cinch sacks. Of course, little pouches. Any of these little pouches, you could find them on Transfer Express Apparel as well. This is Easy Prints Layout 3D 590 with the little owl. I always remember, whenever I see this layout, I think of the lollipop one, the 1, a 2, a 3, and how it's a Tootsie Pop, right? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? That's what I see in that owl. So I don't know. We're detouring all over the place now. You guys threw me off. Let's see. Yep, everybody says it's on there. That's great. What was the brand of that orange trucker cap? Otto. I will show you here before we get too far. Otto cap. OTTO. And this is my favorite. They make a ton of different ones. Look at that Terry sweatband on the inside, right? We're talking details. It is not going to focus on that. I will tell you, it is the 39-165 is their most popular high crown trucker cap, right? And I love them, right? They fit my head really well, right? So pencil pouches here, great for schools, very, very low cost, and you can put all those extra transfers on it, whatever they end up being. You could get them from Amazon, Transfer Express Apparel, any wholesale apparel supplier sells those as well, right? So really great stuff that you could add on. We're talking about stadium seats too, right? One of our last Toasted transfers that we did, we actually decorated on a stadium seat. We have a fall fanwear guide that's out now where I did decorate on a stadium seat. I actually just put out a TikTok the other day decorating on a stadium seat, right? So this exact stadium seat, this is the Port Authority one, the BG601. You can find it at Transfer Express in the wholesale apparel section. Really easy to print on because it kind of has like a little like pocket in there. And there's even like the removable foam that you could pull out of that thing too. But it's super, super easy to print on almost any press. They do cost $15, but you're going to sell them for 25, 30, 35, maybe even $40 at the stadium. Because man, sitting on those bleachers for 3 hours, you're like, all right, I'll give somebody $100 for a good seat, right? And of course, these are great. I think they even have like a little pouch. So they're kind of like a tote bag too, right? So really, really good stuff that you could include, especially when we're talking about, like football, right? They're gonna buy that when their kid is a freshman, and they're gonna use it at every single game from freshman year all the way through varsity, right? So somebody looking at $30 for a stadium seat isn't gonna balk at that price, right? That's gonna be something that you're gonna convert on, especially if you're doing those pop-up shops. But we're gonna talk about where to sell here in just a minute, right? John says, just received a bunch of stadium seats, have not decorated yet. So John, check out any of our old Toasted transfers, and you'll be able to see how we decorated those. It's really easy, not intimidating. We used an auto clam, but you would use a Fusion or any other Hottronics press, especially if you have those interchangeable platens. Game over. Super, super simple. Rally towels, right? Any sport, and nothing is cooler than thousands of people in the stands waving a rally towel. They're usually incredibly inexpensive, where you could get the decoration on them and out the door, sell them to your customer for under $5, $4, right? But even if you're selling them for $5 at the game, right, as little spirit towels, a really, really great thing to include, especially if you're selling on game day. For any sport, whether this one for hockey or basketball, football, any sport does great with rally towels. And I love the way that screen printed transfers look on them, because I've at another shop that I worked at in the old days, we used to screen print on rally towels for the minor league hockey team here in Cleveland, right? And as soon as you would take that towel and rub your hand on it, the print looked awful and the text you couldn't read, right? Where the screen printed transfer kind of mats all the pilling down, right? The pile of the towel. And so it looks great. Wash after wash, wave after wave. And so it is a great durable application. Love and they're so much easier to print on and keep aligned and see and print them straight than say with like a screen printing press, right? And at 4 seconds with a goof-proof transfer, it's just as fast as pulling a squeegee, a higher quality print, right, on these towels. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. That's the PT38. That was the Port Authority PT38. Of course, blankets, right? As we start to look into stadium season coming up and the cold weather, you're going to want to be including blankets. They cost anywhere from $6 to $10. This is the Port Authority BP60. So you're able to put pretty much any transfer type on it. But say you have extra of those goof-proof screen printed transfers left over from a t-shirt run, bam, put them on the blanket here. A really great way to add that profit potential or have that extra add-on item where you make one or two of them and bring them to a game if you're selling on site and see if somebody's going to buy them, right? They also make great gifts for the holidays too, for grandparents, parents, siblings. So that's one thing, another sales opportunity for that. Backpacks, of course, John had mentioned as we were going through that he's playing with flex style. So right here, we do have a flex style on this bag. This was one of the ones included for the, I believe the fall fanwear guide that I'm going to mention here in just a little bit. We'll give you a download link. But here we use Ultra Color Max as well for the Bayview Spartan. So just a little Spartan icon is a little bit more elevated finish that you can get at STAHLS.com. But the benefit of heat printing here, right? We're looking at personalization, any quantity from 1 to 100, right? You're able to do it all. Where like if you went to a traditional embroiderer, they're going to be like, oh, I need at least 12. I need at least 24. Screen printing company, they're going to go, I need at least 48, right? If you're outsourcing this stuff. So like be able to do one customized OGO backpack or say 6 for the tennis team or the golf team, whatever it may be, all with a heat press. It's all possible for a absolutely stellar quantity or quality finish for any quantity, right? And then you could get these different finishes and effects, like I mentioned, with the flex style, right? As that Spartan where you're mixing and matching. So it could say a student's name that is just the Ultra Color Max. That's going to cost you 12 cents for just the personalized transfer. And then the decoration stays the same for everything else, right? This is an OGO backpack. I'm not sure of the exact model number. For some reason, I slipped and did not put it in this slide like I did with all the other ones. So yeah, just need to keep that on there. I see Tanya asks, is the rally towel good for wiping hands and bowling balls? Yes, absolutely, Tanya. They actually make Port Authority in that same, I don't know the exact number offhand, but it's like that same exact rally towel, but it has a grommet in one corner for like golf towels, right? And it actually comes with the little hook. So they're golf towels. So either the rally towel or the golf towel, if you're going to do something like that, because you could hook it onto your belt loop then and have it right by your side if you're going to be drying your hands for like a bowling team or bowling league. 100% absolutely. But just look for the golf towel version of that same exact towel. That's a great question, Tanya. Yeah, and also too, Mike put a great thing in there I see in the chat. Tanya, if you're using the towel for wiping, you'll probably want to limit the print area. Absolutely. So it does cover the fibers, so it does become less absorbent. You're going to find that with any ink, right? The only way you could get around that is a white polyester towel in sublimation. That is the only way you could get like an all-over print while you don't affect how the towel absorbs, right? So, but even like a little 5x5 or something logo is not going to make a difference in absorption. But if you do a whole print, like a full size towel print, you're just going to want to avoid that if you're looking to have it still be wipeable and stuff like that, right? Of course, umbrellas, any of those other game day things, right? You know it's going to be a rainy season. The rains, sell those on site, right? And you're going to be able to make a ton of profit. This umbrella we just sourced from Amazon. There are a few wholesale distributors of umbrellas out there, but they're a little bit more rare than just regular typical, umbrellas, wholesalers. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Of course, I mentioned it a couple times, but we did the 2024 Decorated Apparel Fanwear Guide. So this is a ton of inspiration for a wide variety of different sports, different both academic, like collegiate schools and local schools. So all of the fall fan wear, all of the merch that you're going to print for schools, colleges, and even some brand collaborations. If you're looking at that stuff like into the fall, like you could see that baseball jersey that is up there, like looking for a little bit more elevated style. So we had all of our educators, our designers, everybody who's up to date with partnerships and all the other companies in the industry looking at current trends, our fashionistas, if you will. But we did a huge deep dive into how to profit, what the current styles are, what the best transfer types to use, kind of different scenarios of like what we went over today in the Decorated Apparel Fanwear Guide. So I'll have Mike put a link to that Decorated Apparel Fanwear Guide right in the chat section so that you are going to be able to download the guide. It is 100% completely free. We're giving tons of stuff away today, from easy view to knowledge to, of course, this fanwear guide. It is a digital version that, go in there, read a little bit, because we made little blurbs about different products and different selections. It's like having Dave or Kelly or Jenna with you talking about different markets that you could kind of attack as it relates to schools, athletics, or spirit wear, right? And just kind of like with some tips and tidbits that we've picked up over the years, right? So definitely something to keep in mind. And I see Mike put that link in there, so be sure to download that one for free. Now, of course, taking orders, we talked about how to get your foot in the door. We talked about how to create the art. We talked about some different apparel options. Now we have everything together, right? You have your samples, but how do you take the orders and how do you stay organized? Of course, paper order form is one of the best ways to do it. We have this PDF available for you as part of the 2024 marketing kit, which is pretty much that idea book, right? And the color selector swatch book, right? So it's included in that as a digital PDF that you could print out as many times as you want, be able to put your own logo at the top of it so it's branded to you. You have your shirt style, the shirt color, the layout number if you want to reference that. Oh, that MAS201 for that mascot shirt, right? What ink color am I going to use? What sizing, right? You have all of this information organized like we've seen print shops use over the past 30 years. You have the print location. So you could say, oh, down the sleeve. Oh, it's a short sleeve. We're doing a left chest print and a full back. You could set all of those expectations out for your customer very nice and easily to ensure that everybody's dream is coming to life, right? You want to bring your customer's vision to life. And there's an inherent sense of trust as a custom apparel decorator. So to ensure they trust you and that they're not going to come back and be like, no, what are you talking about? I wanted that print on the back. That you put this all up front right here on this order form. It's great for bulk payments or bulk orders and even attaching the payment information, which then when you go back through at the end of the year, it's so much easier to go find it when it comes tax time. So a really, really great little company thing here. Let's see. Alma says I would need to buy the New Year's marketing kit to get it, or can I get it since I bought the previous year? So Alma, this was an addition. The digital marketing kit was new for this year. So if you purchased it within 2024, you have access to this. Just go up to transferexpress.com, click on your name in the upper right-hand corner. And if you see digital marketing kit, that means that you have it. So everybody who purchased a kit, it automatically gets added to your Transfer Express account. So you'll see that one in there. But yes, part of the kit. So we talked about taking the orders right. And I've talked about this one too, not just the order forms, but now we're selling for the school on site. We're going to call this the pop-up shop, right? That's really where you're going to sell those blankets, the stadium seats, the umbrellas, right? Those odd items. It starts raining, everybody comes to you, right? Those bleachers are real cold or the game goes on a little too long and those stadium seats are, boom, they're flying off the shelves, right? Especially when they're customized to the team, right? So if you're going to be at a sporting event, that's a great time to do a pop-up shop. We even see decorators bringing the heat press on the road, bringing the blanks and the transfers, and only printing them right there on site. With how quick it is, 4 to 6 seconds of the press closed, you could be customizing and printing on demand, even on site. And that's going to lower the risk. So you could keep those unprinted styles for any other occasion, right? So whether this might be school registration or orientation that meet the teacher night, right? Any concerts, theater events, again, like prom, if you want to do, everybody's doing the hat bars, right? So I know I've seen those all over now. a brewery just the other weekend. I was at a brewery and they were doing custom hats, right? So all you need is that Hotronics 360 IQ press, some blank hats and some patches, and bam, some transfers. You could be making it happen, right? So everybody's doing these hat bars. So like even at like prom or homecoming, it's a great activation station. And like, again, bringing these ideas to the PTO, the PTA, the administration, right? Like, hey, have you guys thought about doing a hat bar? Yeah, we saw it. We thought it'd be so cool, but like, we have no idea. Oh, well, I'll just bring my press. We'll pick out some designs. We'll pick out some blank hats and I'll show up. I'll help these kids print hats. And then, oh my God, you're bringing the idea to life, right? That's immediately standing you apart from anybody else who's doing it, right? From Custom Ink or any other national online retailer that they might be going to, right? And being local in the community, bringing those ideas, bringing that creativity, bringing the custom designs. That's a win-win-win for you and your customer. They're going to be wowed by your services. And then when they go talk to other school districts, hey, Dave really helped us out, had this great idea. The kids loved this hat bar that he brought at homecoming. I know your guys is coming up in a couple weeks. You should hit him up, right? Now it's exponential. If you could be recommended by your customers, they become your greatest marketing force. You don't have to spend a dime marketing. Focus on what you do best, and you're going to win, right? So, yeah, definitely really, really cool. So tons of stuff that you could do here. That was courtesy of Red Brick Clothing Company. Of course, talked about it a little bit too, but those online stores, Fulfill Engine makes it easier than ever. This right here is a screenshot from a Fulfill Engine store. So not only do you have the ability to make web stores, but all of these images, these mockups that are created directly in Fulfill Engine, essentially make a production recipe. So you're able to build the blueprint for the order here. So say that hat's getting embroidered or that shirt's getting a direct-to-film print. You build the recipe, everything's print ready. So when the order comes in at scale, it is automated, right? So all of your blank apparel, you don't even have to order it in and stock it. All of your blank apparel gets batched together and it's connected to your apparel supplier so that when the order comes in, it batches the apparel together and it batches the transfers that you need together, right? So once it hits a certain threshold, the end of the week or whatever cadence that you set, if you wanted to order every day or like, hey, the free shipping threshold with my Sanmar account is $200. I wait till that batch hits $200, then it orders it, right? Everything shows up to me. The transfers from STAHLS, the shirts from my supplier, they show up and the system ordered it all. So it knows what orders go with each other. Oh, that logo goes on the blue large shirt, that one. And then just with a scan, it knows exactly who it's going to. It is a full automated end-to-end print-on-demand system from the white label online stores to bringing a QR code scan-to-print system in-house, even if it's just one or two people operating the shop, right? You have integrated shipping and fulfillment. Everything is sourced coming directly to you. And then my favorite part of this is if you are busy or you want to expand your capabilities, you don't have embroidery in-house, right? And you just are never thinking of adding an embroidery machine. All you do is click one button and it will find there's a whole network across the United States of decorators that have all of these capabilities, from laser engraving, right, to screen printing, to embroidery, even like direct to garment, right? If you don't do these services, you could just check the box and somebody could still buy that from you, but it just goes to another decorator automatically. You don't have to touch anything. And they will embroider it, they'll pack it up, ship it to your customer under your name. They don't exist, right? Your customer thinks that you're embroidering in-house and you're still fulfilling in that 3 to 5 day window, right? Absolutely incredible print on demand. You don't even have to produce anything. You could just set up these online stores and have everything kick out to the network, right? So you do have to pay for that. You do pay a little bit higher premium not doing it yourself, but still more than enough to set a profit margin, right? Because the system will tell you what it's going to cost you as a decorator to produce. So then you could tell your customer, all right, this is the cost up front with your profit margin already built in. There's price lists that you could set custom to and just assign different customers to different price lists. So you can make different margins based on if you're outsourcing or if you're making it in-house. Tons of controls. Go over to stahls.com/fulfill-engine if you are interested in this incredibly powerful online software. It is just a $1,000 onboarding fee, which is steep up front, but there is no cost, no monthly subscription, no nothing, right? So you have it in perpetuity till the end of time, unlimited online stores, and then you're only charged for anything that you sell, right? So it's just a percentage. I think it's 3.5% starting on every order. That covers all of the transaction fees, the cost of the subscription, everything like that. And it maxes at something like because that's just on the cost of it to produce, right? So it maxes at like 50 cents or something an order. So yeah, and if you do it, say, you only use it in the spring and the fall, you're not paying year round for it. You're only paying when customers you're only paying if it's making you money, right? And the onboarding is only to help connect you with the software, see the ins and outs of it, get you really set up and running, and then have all of your kind of the guided tour of connecting all of your suppliers or your shipping partners all into it, along with your billing. Handles all the billing, reporting on the back end, even fundraiser stores. It keeps track of how much profit did your school set and how much profit did they want to make on each item. And then you could even just click a button and cut them a check, right? Fulfill Engine will actually mail a check to them, so you don't have to do anything. And they receive a check ready to go. They could cash that check and go, here's our, $250 that we made from our online store. A lot better than selling chocolate. So Tina asks, what's the transfer turnaround from ordering a transfer to delivery? So most of our transfers ship next day if ordered before noon Eastern time. So next day, transit anywhere in the country is no more than 2 days. We do upgrades on all ground shipping if it's going to take over 2 days, so that it could get to you within that time frame. So 2 days maximum. So at the very worst, it's 3 days from when you order it to it showing up at your door. In most cases, yeah. So 1 to 2 days transit. Mike just said exactly what we did. Chrissy says we use Fulfill Engine and it's amazing. People love being able to have an online store and not having to hold an inventory. And that's exactly it, right? That's the benefit right there for Fulfill Engine. And that's it. DNS, does the Fulfill Engine get updated or upgraded as time goes? Yes. The team, there is I want to say they are and I mean, it's coming from me, right? They are the most talented group of developers that I have ever met, right? These guys are super passionate and way smarter than I ever can be, right? These guys attack a problem as a team like I've never seen before. So they're constantly updating it, constantly bringing on new suppliers, constantly adding new features to the program, and making it easier than ever. We just did a video the other day connecting Fulfill Engine to the ProPlace IQ, right? So the new projector system on the Hotronics presses where you could scan the QR code and the artwork automatically pulls up and projects it. It shows you on screen, this is a green shirt, or like say this, Rangers football. It'll show the graphic on screen. It shows the graphic perfectly placed on the lower platen. So you just align that Ultra Color Max transfer to the light. It shows you the right colorway. It confirms what size it is. So your misprints are completely eliminated. You're never spoiling apparel ever again. You're not making data entry mistakes and like, oh, that was supposed to be a large navy shirt and I accidentally ordered an extra large. No, the system ordered it for you. You're not selling things out of stock. So if the extra large in that navy color was out of stock, you just couldn't buy it from the online store. And when it comes back in stock with the supplier, it automatically turns back on and you could order it. No managing inventory, no back order stuff. It super simplifies anything. And then as a small business, when you're looking to scale, there are no growing pains. It is seamless. Turn on that outsource. I don't have time. I want to go on vacation, or like, I can't produce 500 shirts this week. Outsource it. And you have an entire network behind you. So you could say yes to more orders, right? Yeah. Absolutely incredible. Jen, the Transfer Express account is different from a STAHLS account. Like I mentioned earlier, we're trying to get them together. They are just different systems right now. So we talked about Fulfill Engine. We talked about how to do everything, and we talked about print on demand, right? So let's just throw down a little pricing scenario right here. The new single image, 50 cut and ready to apply, like we saw with our Panthers example that we designed on EasyView, was just 99 cents each. It takes 4 seconds to apply that, right? Faster than you could pull a squeegee. Ultra Color Max is that 6 cents a square inch in a 12 to 15 second application. So you can see how fast it is to be able to produce on demand. If I stocked 50 transfers and I took a $3 blank, added a $1 transfer to it, that's $4. And I am selling the retail price of that t-shirt for $25. Sure, the school's going to take a $10 cut on that, right? So 25 minus 10 is $15, right? I personally am making a ton of money on that, $11 myself, right? So like we're able to make so much profit printing on demand, offering these solutions that customers are looking for, right? We're reducing the risk on our end. We're not having to do a bulk order up front and invest a whole bunch of money on stuff that's not going to sell. And the thing is like, we've seen the shift. I saw the birth of print on demand at the last print shop that I worked at, right? And at the time, they weren't like, if we don't offer print on demand, people are still going to print with us, but we're just going to stock it on a shelf, or they're going to stock it on a shelf, right? But with the flexibility of printing these days, if you say, no, I don't really do print on demand, I just do bulk quantities, your customer's going to find somebody who prints on demand, right? There's a lot of services that offer it online and are fairly, I wouldn't say easy to set up, but just walking your customer through that process, listening to them, and guiding them with the right recommendations for product and helping them be successful is going to help you stand out amongst the custom inks and all of the Vista prints and all of those national retailers, right? Like, you are being valuable to your customers and you're helping bring your expertise to help them be better, right? So that's something that you absolutely need to do to win over these local school districts or anybody in your community. And you could see how easy it is to offer these print-on-demand services with just a heat press. You don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment, tens of $1,000 printers. No, you just need a heat press. Order everything when the order comes in. You could be really agile and start packing a whole bunch of profit in your pocket with just a heat press in your bedroom or the corner of your shop or wherever you're working out of, right? Press as sold, no wasted inventory, right? So I did mention a few things: the color selector swatch book, right? The idea book filled with all of the artwork, all of these different transfer types from Ultra Color Max to Goof Proof. You essentially get an entire traveling showroom here in this kit. You get a blank t-shirt that you could start printing right away, right? You get the tote bag that you could do. You get $15 off your order. And for the webinar special, we are only really allowed to offer this special on our marketing kit at trade shows, right? So we haven't gotten in trouble whenever we've done this in the past. I'm hoping I don't get in trouble here, but you can take advantage of it. $40. So you're saving $15. That's essentially free shipping. You are getting $15 back immediately. That'll be credited to your account for your next order. So essentially now we're talking what, $25 for this kit? And it's normally $55. Everything you need to get the t-shirt business started, from pricing guides, that color selector swatch book with all of the 70 plus standard ink colors, Beachtown graphics embroidery, absolutely available in Canada. So we have absolutely no problem shipping it up there. And you also get 18 full-size transfers. So a lot of what's included in this book, right? Central Valley, you get this transfer. So you could show up with this actual shirt. You'll get a black shirt, right? So you could show up with this transfer, print it on a shirt, so it looks like you've been in business. And this is, again, your business name. No Transfer Express branding on this whatsoever. You could show up to a school and say, hey, this is what I did for Central Valley High. This is an example of the quality of what I could do. They're going to feel it. They're going to trust you. They're going to see everything. And then you're going to go, hey, let's start going through here. You also get this exact transfer on a full-size sheet. So you can start building all of this stuff, right? A lot of these that are in here, you will get this Rampage tattoo, another sample that you're going to get in here, right? Tells you all of these different names, numbers, styles that we have, all of the artwork in here. Start pitching this, right? So, hey, look, we saw that layout used earlier on that purple and gold, right? So here we definitely have all of this in here, right? So all of this artwork, you get the real samples, you get this exact name and number combination, so you can make this jersey if you want to, but you could showcase your qualities and capabilities as a decorator. And at normal price at $55, if this helps you sell one and convert one order, right? Schools are so huge. They like to see the samples. They like to touch, they like to feel, they like to pick things out, right? Put them in the driver's seat. I will say one more thing before we sign off. As a graphic designer, all the time. And if there's any graphic designers here in the chat, please be here with me, right? And tell me if you've ever got this before, right? So you're going to work for a customer. Let's just say it's a school. And they go, well, you're the pro. We don't really know what we want, but we'll know when we see it, right? It's not how it works. Graphic design is not Netflix. We're not just going to go scrolling around to find something, right? I'm going to invest hours of my time to bring something to the table. And whenever in the past that somebody's been like, I don't really know what I want, I'll know it when I see it. I spend 2 hours putting stuff together, time is money. And I pitch it to them. They go, that's not really what I was thinking. I'm thinking something more like this. And then they send you a screenshot from Pinterest. Oh, so you didn't really know what you want, but you'll know it when you see it. But you had a screenshot ready to go that could have saved me 2 hours of work, made you happy with the end result, made it easier for me to produce, right? As a decorator, when you're trying to monetize your time, it just doesn't work that way. So when somebody says, I don't really know what I want, but I'll know it when I see it. You know what I put in their hands? I put this idea book. As a professional designer, I will put this in their hand to go, oh yeah, that one right there. That's what we want. We love that little script. We'll put the mascot up there, that little eagle, right? Little script, but we want it to say Panthers, and we'll put our little panther up there, right? Done. 30 seconds. I'm able to do that. Save it, set it to whatever colorway, mock it up, and send it to them. 30 seconds. Even if you're not a graphic design pro, a minute maybe that takes you. Now you have the capabilities of somebody with a full service art department behind you when it's just you, right? Or maybe it's you and a friend, husband, wife duo, whoever it may be, that you're able to have those capabilities of a full service shop with just a book, right? So one customer, this helps you convert. It's worth the full price alone. And here for $40 on our webinar special, one-time fee. And if you're not live with us, I'm apologizing in advance that only for the live attendees here are going to get that offer with that special link that Mike just included. So make sure you go to the link that Mike included. Did Mike include the link? I'm going to scroll through. There it is. August webinar special is the one that you want to go to. If you just scroll up in the chat, and I'm sure Mike will drop another link in there before we get off of the webinar here. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Absolutely really enjoyed hearing from you. Love the interactivity today. I'd love to hear so many people looking to get into schools and or already for schools, sharing their expertise and being a part of the community here today. I do see people saying, like Courtney says, is the best webinar she's ever attended. Renee says, does the webinar kit include the application kit, or is that separate? The application kit is available as that $75 kit. So the application kit includes an application ruler, a whole bunch, pretty much everything that we have by our heat press that we reach for, whether it be mouse pads, cover sheets, that application ruler, a t-shirt that you could actually apply and like see the sizing, right? A really cool sizing grid t-shirt that you could show customers to say like, hey, this is a 4x4. This is what size regular left chest graphic is. Or like, hey, yeah, that 15-inch wide graphic is going to be quite large. Look, 11x11 is more of a standard print size, right? To manage those expectations. But those are available together as a combo kit. So you'll see that on that product page. If you want to order the combo kit, it is $75, which is still a special, still $15 off, which is essentially covering that shipping fee, right? So $15 a ship. It does come in a big box, right? One of these boxes is what this comes in. So just as reference to my head, I have a big head. This is an even bigger box, right? So these boxes are filled to the brim with all of that idea book that's going to be customized to your business name. So be sure to put your business name in there when you're ordering that kit. So at the bottom of the idea book, it says your business name. Now, of course, this isn't a binder too. So if you want to like photocopy this or put your own logo on it or just slide your logo in there or put a sticker on the outside, that's your logo, go for it, right? Brand the experience so somebody remembers like, oh man, Dave's Tees brought me this book that like had all of this artwork in it and then they customized it for me. This is incredible, right? Absolutely incredible. So Bill says, yeah, you have me motivated. I am so just absolutely floored that I could inspire you on your journey. And Bill, if you go and close a school because of anything we said in this webinar, please let us know. We are always thrilled to help decorators just like you guys absolutely crush it, thrive, and meet your success. We know that success looks different. You know, if you're a government contractor, right? Success might look different this year than somebody just getting started who's looking to close that first order, or like, hey, I want to make profit this year, right? I bought a heat press. I want to make it work. I want to be able to just, hey, maybe it's your side hustle, right? And it's like, I want to be able to make enough money to take that summer vacation, that spring vacation. I'm going to do it this year, right? Well, guess what? I'm 100% in your corner, ready to help you at any time. you can always head over to our YouTube page, right? I answer, me, Dave, personally, I answer 99% of the comments over on our Transfer Express YouTube page. So if you have anything to ask me at any time, head on over there and just leave a comment and I'll reply within 24 hours. Sometimes it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'll reply in 30 seconds. That's my favorite, like, midnight activity, is scrolling the comments on YouTube. I don't know. I told you I'm weird, right? So I'm definitely weird. But yeah, all of that stuff there, set, ready to help you out, all on transferexpress.com. If you go over to the YouTube page, of course, on demand to education at any time. And this webinar will eventually make it there at one time. Mindy, yes. The first part of this webinar was recorded. Well, all of the webinar was recorded, and we'll send it to you. Yeah, you'll get that tomorrow in your email. You might even be able to, right after this ends, you might be able to restart it in the player and like watch back from the beginning. Yeah, great comments coming in here. Tammy, you are very she says, thanks, Dave. And I'm very thankful for you hanging out. I'm always happy to help out in any way I can. So you're absolutely welcome. Keith, Nola, DeLeon, government contractor. Keep it going, man. Let's go. All of the videos are so helpful and educational. Garrett, I'm so happy. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out today. We unfortunately didn't get time to go in and design those pendants, but we do have the video on our YouTube page of how we designed them and printed them. So they're all there. We go into everything more detailed. So go over there. Give us a subscribe on the Transfer Express YouTube page. Always happy to help out. And I am Dave. But until next time, happy pressing.